Welcome to Mammoth Cave National Park. Located in the state of Kentucky within the United States, it was accepted into the park system in 1941, and this massive national park has more than its fair share of history. Mammoth Cave was first discovered by Native Americans. However, it was not until the first years of the 19th century that the European settlers of America discovered the cave that, once explored, was mapped to over 400 miles in size. Today, tourists are confined to 10 miles of the cave in an effort to both protect the cave's environment and keep the people safe. In addition to the cave itself, the park boasts around 53,000 acres of deciduous forest. This provides Mammoth Cave National Park with an interesting blend of a cave and deciduous forest biome. These two biomes allow the park to see a great degree of biodiversity, as there are many species of animals known as troglobites, who spend their entire lives within the caves. In addition to these cave dwellers, there are many other forms of flora and fauna in the surrounding forest. Mammoth Cave is also the only cave in the world to display every type of cave formation known.
Mammoth Cave was discovered around 200 BC, but wasn't rediscovered again until 1797, when a hunter named Huchin found it after chasing a bear. He saw the cave had saltpeter, which was used to make gunpowder, and during the War of 1812, a saltpeter factory was built to help during the war. In 1820, in an effort to promote tourism for the beauty of the cave, a hotel, roads, and improved buildings were built. The hotel's hospitality, fine dining, and tours provided people a nice place to stay while seeing the cave. In 1908, Max Kumper, a German surveyor, was hired to map out Mammoth Cave. He discovered new lands in the cave. Because of the high profits Mammoth Cave was making, a cave war broke out in 1920 between the caves in the area. Eventually, in 1926, Mammoth Cave was authorized as a national park. Since the park's induction into the National Park Service system, and even since its inscription as UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1981, Mammoth Cave National Park has undergone many changes in its management to reflect new discoveries of the cave system and how to best promote its unique aspects. But the Mammoth Cave National Park General Management Plan, first put in 1983, is still being followed for day-to-day issues.
The first ecological stressor that poses a threat to Mammoth Cave National Park is human interaction with the cave system and the surrounding areas. Invasive species, threats to endangered species that live in the caves, as well as the introduction of fungus into the cave are a few of the results of human interaction with the cave and its ecology. Species such as honeysuckle, garlic mustard, and kudzu are outcompeting native species and spreading quickly. Chestnut blight and Dutch elm disease are ripping through populations of American chestnut and elm trees, while at the same time, the white nose syndrome, which is a fungus, is threatening the lives of the bats that live within the cave. White nose syndrome is brought in on the gear and shoes of visitors of the cave. The disruption of these native species creates an imbalance in the food chain, ultimately affecting the entire natural ecosystem of the park. So what is being done or can be done to help limit the negative human interaction of the park? Something that the park already does to help protect the caves is limiting visitors to 10 miles of developed passageway in the caves. This can be taken a step further by limiting it even more. Another possible opportunity for sustainability is working with local and regional officials to create stricter laws regarding visitors to the park, as well as working with them to make efforts to remove and limit the invasive species.
As greenhouse emissions accelerate climate change around our planet, Mammoth Cave has not been spared from its effects. Scientists at Mammoth Cave have recently noticed a trend of decreasing biodiversity, indicating that the park climate is no longer suitable for many native species of wildlife. One species that is particularly susceptible to the effects of climate change is the pine warbler, a bird which has been appearing less frequently as average temperatures increase throughout the park. With this increase in temperature, the area of its habitat around Mammoth Cave has shrunk by 50%. In order to fight against the loss of biodiversity, Mammoth Cave National Park is taking sustainable initiatives to reduce their carbon footprint, such as alternative fuels to power their park vehicles. They will frequently use propane buses and pickup trucks, as opposed to diesel or gasoline, in addition to small electric patrol cars and ferries powered by biodiesel fuels.
A national park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and a monument to the incredible creations of our world long before humans arrived, Mammoth Cave is agreed upon by all as a place worth preserving. However, like many parkscapes throughout the globe, it faces many challenges such as the effects of human interaction with the cave environment and increased effects of climate change on biodiversity and ecological function. While many other solutions to these issues are sought after and implemented, the National Park Service Inventory and Monitoring (INM) program was established to help prevent the loss and impairment of such communities. The purpose of the NPS's INM at Mammoth Cave being inventory and monitoring of natural resources are integrated with park planning to establish the preservation and protection of natural resources as an integral part of park management and improve the stewardship of natural resources. We may only hope that Mammoth Cave, along with the other parks of the world, is preserved well enough that our children and grandchildren may enjoy its magnificence for years to come. A system we have not fully explored, standing solemn for thousands of years, and a reminder of the power and beauty of Earth lurking just below the surface.